some of the great action figure finds or clearance action figures finds that I was able to make this weekend. So G.I. Joe Classified Series Quick Kick. So one figure is already out of packaging because I already kitbashed some items. Okay, but just to show you that, just in case you want to check your local Walmart on the clearance aisles for Quick Kick if you're looking for this action figure. But it's surprising that the rest of the wave which this action figure belongs to is still on regular price, except for Quick Kick. Okay, so another action figure that I was able to find was Cartoon Collection's He-Man. So we're going to review this action figure too, and I'm going to update some of my He-Man action figures which I have on board. Okay, so let's proceed with the Kitbash figure. So with the clearance out action figure from Walmart, I was able to update my version of Quick Kick. So this time a black and white version. So this is something that I think is the last version of Quick Kick that I'm going to do. Okay, so why Sticks or Arnis? So as a former Eskrima or Arnis practitioner back in the day, and also a Taekwondo practitioner back in the day, so I just wanted a figure that's going to remind me of the sports that I love. Okay, so yep, this had a different leg and leg set that I used, so it was from this action figure. So if you're following this channel, you know the history behind this action figure, the evolution of how I kitbash my Quick Kick from the black to this version. The previous version was white and blue, and now it's white and black. Okay, so I'm not going to repeat the parts that I'm going to use, just showing you the updated version of Quick Kick, because as I updated this action figure, I also wanted a John Rambo action figure, but I researched on Hiya Toys, and oh wow, okay, $79 to $100 action figure, pasi in this scale, too pricey. So with the amount of loose action figure parts, accessories that I had on board, and since I updated this action figure, took out the jeans that I put on this action figure, I was able to do another John Rambo like action figure. So instead of purchasing Hiya Toys, so with whatever parts that I had on board, I made my own version. So yeah, I think somebody once again would comment after posting this video that, oh, it's not the Sylvester Stallone head. I really don't care, because the joy of kitbashing is the creation process, plus putting your own personal twist on the action figure, because at the end of the day, it's your action figure, it's not others' action figures, it's mine. Okay, so let's do a 360 view of this figure. Okay, so head unit that comes from Marvel Legends Punisher, the neck, arms, and body that's from Action Force Valorverse, the man briefs, the legs that comes from this action figure, and the man briefs connector is on this Action Force Valorverse, the lower part. So I really cracked this part open to take out that section, so the legs is going to fit and really articulate nicely, because if I'm going to use another action figure connector or hip connector, it's not going to work very well. Since this was just lying around, so rather take it out and put it on this action figure, and the fit is just great. Okay, so the boot set, since I took out the footwear from the previous build, so that's sporting another footwear from another G.I. Joe Classified Series action figure. Okay, so this is not the end of this build. So let's take a look at the soft goods, which I already applied. So another purchase that I made was for a loose shirt that I would always use for Kitbash. So the purpose of this video is we're going to, aside from making this build, John Rambo like build action figure, my version, we're going to put on soft goods on this action figure. I'm going to show the process of how I make the cut, because it's just very simple. And the more artistic you become, just make rough cuts, put it on the action figure, and adjust as you go. So let's do it. Okay, so we are at the Kitbash table. So materials: shirt, scissors, hem cord. Okay, so does it have to be a new shirt from Target, a new day t-shirt? Not really. If you have a all green shirt or brown shirt or whatever color that you wish to use, then use it. The fader the material, better, because in Rambo the First Blood, he was using a worn out tarp as body cover to keep his temperature in balance because cold weather. Okay, so let's see. I think this still has enough material that I could cut through. Yep, still enough. So instead of cutting through this material, which still is a whole shirt, we're going to use the previous material. Okay, so let's put the figure to the side, but this is how the build is. Okay, so with an X-Acto knife too, instead of cutting off the Marvel Legends Punisher hair, so this portion of the hair, I just X-Acto knife it and sandwich the soft goods material in between the hair. So evidence. So let's put that camera and you could see. So the soft goods material is riding beneath that plastic. Okay, so let's move to our project, making a wraparound body tarp like material for my John Rambo. Okay, so knife, John Rambo would wear it on this side. Well, I'm right-handed. I like my knife on this side, so just personal preference. As to the bands on the handset, that is something that we cannot do or remedy. That's already molded onto the action figure, so it looks good, so why take it out? Anyway, my figure, that's the way I want it. Okay, so yep, this material that matches the shirt that is on the action figure and the paracord band on the wrist. Okay, so we're good to go. So the cut that we're going to make, nothing really fancy. As you could see, I'm just going to make a rough cut. First, I'm just going to possibly measure how much material I'm going to make. So just rough estimates, and okay, so we're good to go. So we're going to use that side. So I just made a mental note on the material, how much material I would need. So I'd even go wider. Okay, so as you could see, I did not put any lines or markings or a possibly a format when I cut the material. So just freewheeling. Anyway, it's rough material. That's the purpose actually of the build. So if you're going to make a tarp like material, it does not need to be really straight lines. So there you go. Okay, so we're just going to clear out this section, possibly that section. So this is the material that we're going to have on this action figure, and it's more than enough to cover him actually. Okay, so let's get rid of that section. So we're just going to cut away, nothing fancy, just cut away. Okay, now this section too, because that's going to make the figure look like he's wearing something that is not into his scale. Okay, so just make rough cuts as you go, nothing really fancy. As you could see, I'm not aligning anything. Okay, there you go. So material is rough, does not have much of a pattern, but we're going to make a poncho out of his down. Okay, so from this material, we're just going to fold it in half, and we're going to measure it against the action figure. So it has to be quite, it's going to be, I think we're not going to need all of this, so I think just half would do. Okay, so since we already folded this material, we're just going to cut the amount that we need, or the length that we need. So this goes to the reserve, just in case we're going to do another one. Now this goes to the action figure. So once again, let's see if it is more than enough. Okay, so let's do a pattern lining of some sort. Okay, now line it up against the action figure. Actually, that's more than enough. And what we're going to do is just make a slit or a hole. So just make an estimate right in the middle, just a small cut where the head is going to go. You could take the head off, you could put it on, but in my case I like to take it off. And let's put the gun to the side, and we're going to put that over. Well, if you wish to have the ammunition bandolier over, we still possibly could. Yeah, well, yeah. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, so do we need to take off the arms to take off that ammo band? Nope. It's anyway stretchable material that would be taken out easily, so no need to take out the arms or the bicep section. Just slip it out, and later on we're going to slip it in. Okay, now we're going to put this over the head of the figure that way. Okay, now that rides nice, and time to put this back on, because I think that's going to look better. Anyway, it's my version of the figure, not the movie. It's my version, so I do as I please, or how I want to display the action figure. So just making a demonstration how you could possibly make yours. So it depends on the design that you wish to put, actually. So that's the beauty of kit bashing. Could do as you wish to what you want to have the action figure look like. Okay, so we're putting it on, and this ammunition bandolier is going to hold on to that material, but we're still going to apply hemp. Okay, so just going to stretch it down some more. I'm going to straighten out those arms. There you go. Okay, looking good. Okay, so let's stretch out material in this section, and we're going to leave this section open so the knife is exposed. Why cover up the knife when the knife is a good looking accessory? Okay, so just your forceps. So we're going to do that just to cover that section. There you go. Okay, so it's just a very simple process, and with the excess material you could already cut away, but we're not going to do that yet because we're going to check out clearances, because once we move the action figure, the arms I mean, move it up, we need to have at least material that's not going to lift up. So we need, okay, so just the right amount, and let's make a very there you go. Could even cut off some sides like that. It's not need to be fancy, and pull off, so there's going to be frayed material. There you go. Okay, one side done. Now let's take a look at the back. Okay, so we have this much material, and going to just do that. Just make rough cuts. Okay, and with the excess, yep, now that's going to look good. Okay, just rough cuts. Now with the hemp, so color that we're going to use, something that's going to contrast. So black is going to be too dark, of course white is not right, this color, so gray. So we're going to use this. So this is something that you could buy at Walmart for less than $5. Okay, so since we're going to wrap that around, we need quite this much length. So as you could see, I didn't even measure it, just made estimations. Okay, now as for the waist, we're just going to do this. So we're going to find center line. Just we're going to wrap this around the waist line. Okay, so one, and over the knife, and then we'll make a loop on the back, and we're going to come forward that way. Okay, so where's the other side? Here you go. Okay. And we're just going to tighten the knot a little bit. And we're going to make now a loop. So left is to right. As right is to left. And there you go. Very, very simple. So something similar to the knot that he used when you tied up the tarp around his body. Okay. Now with regards to the length, how much length are we going to retain? So just enough. So possibly the length of the green tarp. So we're just going to cut about 2 centimeters above. There you go. And with the excess material, we could use these tweezers and tuck it in that way, so it's not going to play around much. There you go. Okay, and let's do some fraying on this section of the rope. So okay, there you go. That's it. Nice and simple. And we're going to reinstate the head unit. Oops. Okay, I think I need to hit this up? No. That is just actually a very snug fit. Okay, there you go. So just realign that bandana on the head. Okay, so let's go back to the review table and let's take a look at the final build of this figure. Okay, so just like that, we were able to make our own version of John Rambo from the movie Rambo First Blood. Okay, so let's do a 360 view of my version. So total cost that I laid out for making this action figure, actually zero, because all of the materials are already in. So body parts are already in. This bundle, ammunition bandolier that comes from G.I. Joe Classified Series Rock and Roll, which I also took apart for parts. So with the other weapons and gear. So something that I already have on board. So it was just made possible because of the G.I. Joe Classified Series Quick clearance, because I already ran out of parts from this action figure. So I needed to free those legs that was once connected to this action figure, so I was able. So my goal of kitbashing this kind of figure would be possible. Okay, so actually for the price of $20 from that Walmart clearance, I was able to really find joy in this build. Does not need to be a Sylvester Stallone head, because anyway, it's my personal figure, so something that I'm going to play with. Well, if you have a Sylvester Stallone 1:12 scale head unit, then here is a recipe that you could possibly do. So if you like this review, like, comment, and subscribe to help me grow my channel, and see you on the next action figure or custom action figure review.